Welcome back to the channel. It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and we are now at 8 days and counting until Starfield hits the go live button into early access. And the last 24 hours have been a steady stream of Starfield info, content, and trailer drops. We've got a packed lineup today with another gameplay leak, Todd Howard at Gamescom talking Starfield, and a new live action trailer. Plus, I wanted to touch on some news related to Xbox and Microsoft and a recent Essentially Sports article that I have some thoughts on as well. Your continued support for my Starfield uploads has been tremendous, and I appreciate each and every one of you. In case you haven't yet hit subscribe, please do so and ring the notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are greatly appreciated. Chapters available for easy viewing, and away we go. Let's kick this one off with the news that Microsoft's PC Game Pass arrives on NVIDIA's GeForce Now service this week. Now, in this recent The Verge article, it outlines a broader effort by Microsoft to get its Game Pass titles out to a larger player base, and although the first Xbox games for PC started arriving on GeForce Now back in May, the intensity has kind of ramped up for this effort. Now, for those of you not familiar with what GeForce is, it's a cloud streaming service, very much like xCloud. Starting on August 24th, expect first-party titles like Deathloop and Grounded to appear on the service, and anytime gamers have more access to more titles and to be able to play them when and where they want, that is always a positive. I just wonder how long before Starfield is added to the lineup for this one. Next up, it's time to talk about another Starfield leak, and this one was major. I had no idea this had gone down, but received a DM alerting me to the leak, and according to this WCCF Tech article, there was a major Starfield leak showing 40 minutes of character creation, gameplay, space combat, and more. Now, apparently this person ordered and received the Constellation edition of the game extremely early and decided to boot it up and record some action to upload to YouTube. I personally did not see the footage myself, but the article states it was recorded using a phone in portrait mode, which means it probably wasn't at its best. But on a more positive note, the person that sent me the message about the leak thought that the game looked really good, so hey, that's something. The WCCF Tech article did show some messages from the person posting this original Starfield footage, vowing to record some more with a GoPro and return yet again. And just so you know, the original gameplay footage has been hit with a copyright strike by ZeniMax and completely taken offline. Not exactly Starfield news, but in general gaming involving Microsoft, coming across the news sites earlier today was this bombshell headline: Microsoft to sell Activision Blizzard streaming rights to Ubisoft in revised deal. And I was more than stunned to read some of the generals for this one. Ubisoft plus all current Activision Blizzard games, as well as their new titles launching for the next 15 years after closing the acquisition, but no word on exactly how much the French giant had to pay to get access to this entire Activision catalog of titles. Now, this partnership will only extend to the streaming rights to Activision Blizzard games outside of the EU and license titles back to Microsoft to include in their Xbox Cloud gaming services. I don't know if I will ever get used to seeing Modern Warfare show up next to Assassin's Creed in the same digital catalog, and I still have so many questions as to where Ubisoft got the money to handle this type of deal. But with looming $3 billion merger termination fees right around the corner, Microsoft is pulling out all the stops to finalize the acquisition. Switching gears, and Starfield got off to a bang at the Gamescom Opening Night Ceremonies, with Inon Zur absolutely destroying the ivories, Todd Howard's first Gamescom appearance, a new live-action trailer, and then whatever this was.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bill Clinton wants to play GTA 6. Okay, yeah. So back to the opening night presentation, and Zur was electric soloing the Starfield suite on piano, front and center, while various scenes from previous trailers displayed on massive screens behind him. Zur had previously stated that he's been working on the Starfield soundtrack for the last 7 years, and many of you may recognize his name from previous titles like the Fallout series. Zur's solo was immediately followed up by a new live-action Starfield trailer. And an interesting side note here, if you activate the YouTube closed captions for this video, it says that the background track is an orchestral cover of Rocket Man by Inon Zur, although his name is not mentioned in the video description anywhere, instead only showing Elton John. Anyways, the opening shows a Constellation pilot wearing the now instantly recognizable red and white spacesuit, walking towards a spacecraft and then acknowledging a young admirer from afar, handing her a Constellation patch, possibly signifying the old welcoming the new, before blasting off in the spacecraft seen in so many of these previous trailers called The Frontier. After that, we get some strong CGI astral work. You've got grav jumping, a bit of action as the Frontier is under enemy fire, ducking and weaving through a heavy asteroid belt, only to perform an aggressive maneuver to score the easy victory. Upon landing on a reddish planet, where we also get to see a few seconds of Vasco, who's honestly looking a bit rough here in the trailer, our Constellation member glimpses at his special edition watch as he tracks down what appears to be a gravity disturbance, shown through all the swirling sands, before cutting to an underground clip as the explorer finds whatever he's looking for. As he approaches the object, the watch flashes with an alert alarm, and as he touches whatever this object is, he is seemingly transported through time and space, experiencing some sort of otherworldly transition. Upon landing, the young admirer has again returned, now with the gifted Constellation patch firmly attached to her jacket sleeve, confirming her commitment to the exploration of the unknown. And everything kind of ends with this dramatic panning shot up through New Atlantis, which looks to be a faithful recreation of what we've seen in the trailer so far. Starfield's time in the spotlight for the presentation culminated with Todd Howard walking out on a stage and confirming this is the first time he has ever attended Gamescom, explaining since this was their first new franchise in 25 years, he felt this was the right time to finally attend. Howard explained that Starfield was made to fill gamers' desire to blast off into space and explore with complete freedom. He then revealed that they have built a 300-person theater at Gamescom to showcase the beginning of the game. You begin as a miner that touches an artifact and allows us to see into space and time. There will also be a bit of character creation shown off, and Howard described our Starfield adventures as we join Constellation as sort of NASA meets Indiana Jones while searching for these artifacts. Howard also teased that the story takes you to a lot of places and the game has a lot of surprises that they haven't talked about. Now, as far as this theater experience, we've seen this type of early gameplay showcase back when Fallout 4 was nearing launch, where a member of the team essentially played a portion of the live game while spectators looked on. Who knows what this Starfield showcase will look like, but with the doors officially opening today at Gamescom, I think we should expect footage to start popping up very soon. And we couldn't leave Gamescom without taking a quick look at the space-age looking mobile interview lounge on wheels. By the way, if anyone gets to step inside this thing while attending, send me a DM with some pics. I would love to see what they've got going on. And let's wrap this one up with this gaming article headline. Starfield hype. Players are reportedly returning their PS5s at GameStop to get an Xbox ahead of September. It's claimed. Now, Essentially Sports goes on to talk about all sorts of pre-launch hype for Starfield with no proof and just this reported GameStop manager statement serving as the headline. I'm really not going to take a deep dive on this one. I mean, Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, has already weighed in on this on a Kind of Funny Games podcast, and while it makes for a bit of drama, it's nothing more than that. I've already touched on this numerous times in the past about how gamers don't even need to own an Xbox to enjoy Starfield. They can just xCloud the game to whatever streaming device they want, meaning they don't have to sell anything. But what I do think will be interesting to see are those sales numbers and player counts once Starfield launches into full access on the 6th, and just to see how well it does. My prediction is that it's going to surprise a lot of people just how well it sells. Fingers crossed on this one. And there you go, a bunch more Starfield news and details. I mean, you've got Gamescom starting today, so I fully expect another volley of new information to just come rushing at us. And in case you haven't yet done so, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. Likes, comments, shares are greatly appreciated. All my socials can be found in the video description. Shout out to the now over 140,000 of you that have stuck with me and hit subscribe. And a special thanks goes out to my patrons and those of you firing off those awesome YouTube super chats. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.